What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of the Bridge Show. Today is going to be a really, really good one. Very laid back. We're trying, with everything's happening in this world, we're trying to be as chill as possible. So we're going to lay back. We're going to chill. Nothing crazy, nothing technical. We're just going to literally hang out, talk about what's happening around the world, talk about how it affects us, talk about where is God in the midst of all this stuff. And we're just literally going to be chilling. So you're going to see literally 4 leaders hanging out, talking about what's happening in the world, but also hanging out with you. And guys, it's very, very important. Participate. We got Billy that's gonna be making sure he's keep his eye on the questions on the comment board. Talk. Be a part of the conversation. We're gonna be talking like I said today. We're gonna be talking about what's going on around the world, giving you guys some updates and trying to find where is the fingerprints of God in the midst of all this stuff. So today's gonna be a good show. Once again, guys, we have our host for the fourth time in a row. All right, we got the one and only Christina. Say what's up, Chris.
Woo! Oh, what's up?
We got Leslie representing North Elizabeth, and we got Raul representing 23.
What's up? What's up, man?
And we got the one and only Billy representing the bridge of all bridges. All right. Representing all bridges.
Got a shirt on. You see that? One of the originals.
Running the original
2000.
Yep. We can't hear you, Bill.
Shout out to
we're
Bill.
trying to figure out how we could get that changed. But definitely Billy's in the building. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
You did.
Just saying, this is the original bridge logo from the year 2000 throwback T-shirt.
Throwback.
Wow.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a throwback shirt, let us know in the comment section. We'll see if we still have some lying around.
Some 4XLs.
Some of our kids were born in the year 2000.
Think about it.
No,
That's vintage right there.
past that, because if they were born in 2000, they'd already be 20.
Oh God, that's true.
Wow.
I was 7 in 2000.
The bridge is older than you guys. The bridge is older than you. How does that make you feel?
A lot of the kids that when we started that we had in the ministry, they're like, some of them are in their 30s now and they have children of their own.
Like me.
It's a little crazy. Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, guys, let's give a shout out to Raul once again. Raul is our news broadcaster. Raul, let us know what news you have.
Definitely. What's up, guys? It's Raul bringing the news to you live right now. Just to let you know, the school are still closed. Bridge is still closed, and Bridge United is still closed. Also, gotta let you guys know that the retreat new date we'll be letting you guys know about that shortly. Because everything right now is such a disarray that we're still trying to figure some things out, and we'll let you guys know what's going on as we figure out dates and things like that. But the most important thing to us is to keep you safe. And so as of right now, just stay home, and that's what I got for today.
Disarray. That was a great vocabulary word.
That's
Like
my
that?
boy.
I might use it in Words with Friends when I play against Billy. You know what I'm saying?
All right. And we have Les.
You're gonna need all the help you can get.
Oh God.
He's right.
There's actually an app that you could download when you're playing Words with Friends where you can actually cheat.
Yeah,
That's
of course you would.
glory.
I try not to cheat, but I'll let the world know that Billy is really rocking me right now. I suck.
All right, Leslie.
I gotta download that game. What's up?
How's it going?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching the show right now, I want you to stop what you're doing, stand up, and give Leslie a round of applause.
No. It's okay. No.
Because while you are home playing Fortnite, while you are home petting your cat or dog, while you are home eating your quarantine cereal, Leslie wakes up every morning. She drives to work, which is at the moment a complete war zone. Dealing with situations that none of us could ever think about. And she goes in there with, doing what we all believe and what she believes that God created her to do, which is to save and help people. And she's one of the nurses that help people the best that she can. She's seeing
Sorry.
She sees things and deals with things, that none of us could ever imagine. So guys, let's thank you, Leslie,
Thank you,
for taking the possession,
Leslie.
the profession that you have, and just thank you for who you are. Thank you for the work that you do. I know it's a lot stressful. I know it's extremely stressful. I remember you texting our group chat, our friend group chat, and you were mentioning how we need to pray for the people who are working in the healthcare center, because the things that they're dealing with now, they're gonna have to probably deal with in like months and years to come. Not I'm not talking about physically, but just mentally.
Yeah,
And
it's a
it's one
lot.
of those things. It's a lot. So thank you for who you are. I know it's not easy doing your job. We appreciate you. When it comes to essential workers, you are number one. Can you give us an update of what's happening when it comes to this COVID? What are you seeing, and what's going on, and any updates that you think that our kids at Bridge should be listening to?
Right. So I appreciate the thanks. That's one. But so right now I'm actually in a safe place. I don't work directly with these people yet, but it's very possible that I will have to, like in the near future. But I hear all the stories. I know the people that, put the breathing tools in them, that are managing them, that are taking care of them. And it's a lot of scary stuff that's going on. And the hospitals are very overwhelmed. So that's the last place you want to be. So you can prevent that from happening. You can prevent all this horrible stuff from happening by staying home. That's literally the best thing that you guys can do right now is stay home. Because I know this is all like, an inconvenience for a lot of you. This is just like, oh, I just want to see my friends. I just want, why is this such a big deal? Whatever. But the longer you guys don't follow this direction, the longer it's going to be like this. So.
Can I just add some clarity to that too?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of kids might be thinking this, because I know I didn't think outside of the box with this yet either. But the reason that we're not seeing the effects of staying home is because it's so delayed, right? Like if somebody has this virus for 2 weeks and everyone's getting sick right now, it's probably from 2 weeks ago.
Right.
That's not funny, but Billy is funny. And so we're not going to see how we're making a difference until 2 weeks from now, because,
right.
We have to wait and stay home and see what happens. So a lot of kids are probably like, oh, well, I'm staying home and people are, going to the hospital anyway. And it's like, yeah, because we haven't reached that part yet where we get to see the difference that we made. So.
Right. And it's not about you feeling okay, because it's very, this virus can present itself in a lot of different ways, and it's very tricky. We don't know exactly how it works yet. We're still learning about it. That's why it's been like so overwhelming. So you can actually have the virus and not show any symptoms. So by you saying, I feel fine, my friends feel fine, it's okay if we hang out together and stay apart from each other, one of you might actually have the virus. And then you're playing basketball, everyone touches that basketball, and then so-and-so goes home, and then the person that might pick up the germ from them or a virus from them, it's not going to be as easy for them. And it doesn't matter if you're sick already. It doesn't matter if you're old. It doesn't matter. Like people my age have died already, like a lot of them. So if you're young, like a 22-year-old just passed, like it's horrible. It doesn't matter if you're healthy. It doesn't matter anything.
So real quick, just to continue the whole with the update with Leslie, obviously touching surfaces is what getting people sick. Now I saw an article that said that it flies in the air now. Is that true? That you think, that that you heard from like the hospital and stuff?
We're treating it as a droplet virus, which basically means you have to wear just a surgical mask, because it's like a particle that will fly within 6 feet. That's why we say 6 feet. But it's very possible that this is an airborne virus also. So it'll last in the air, floating for who knows how long. It lasts on metal surfaces for like a few days. We're still learning about it. So
how important it is to wash your hands and stuff like that. Obviously, we all know it's important.
If your hands are not lighter than the rest of your body by now, or dry from all the hand washing and sanitizing you're doing, you're not doing it right.
For real.
So you need to be extra cautious.
When I take out the trash,
yeah,
I open my front door with my trash bag, and I dump it into the trash can, and I move the trash can to the front of the house so that the truck drivers to pick it up.
Yeah.
I go home. When I go back inside the house, I open the house with my wrist. Like I open the door like this, and I go straight into my the bathroom, and I literally wash my hands and I sing ABCs, A B C D E F G, and I wash it because I'm not playing games.
Your nails.
I cut my nails. I make sure my nails are all cut.
I have to cut my nails because it's getting too long. Cut your nails, people. It's not about how long you wash your hands. It's about how much, friction you use.
Grind in
you
there.
Do 10 seconds.
I was gonna say, should I use a Brillo when I wash my hands?
You can use a Brillo.
Well, I said before it hit, like it took off in America, I was like, yo, every girl in Elizabeth right now with their long nails are probably like.
Yo, for real, bro.
But even tell your parents, like a lot of your parents might not be taking this serious. All you have to really do is go on social media or anywhere and see how crazy it is. But if your parents are taking it lightly, be that voice. You guys don't say just because I'm young, I can't make a difference in my house, or just because I'm young, I'm not going to believe me, or it's no big deal. If your parents are bugging out and they're going to go see Fulana on the corner store, or they're going to go see their friends, you can tell them to stop. And don't go to the supermarket with them. It should just be one person per house. Go during the week when no one's there. Stay your 6 feet apart. Don't go to big stores. Go to the local stores. You could survive on eggs and rice. Hello, that's the best meal ever created. So
eggs and rice.
All you need is rice. Because trust me, you by doing something that you see as harmless is literally a domino effect and could literally end in someone's death. So I sound dramatic, but I'm not being dramatic at all because this is very serious. This is a nightmare that we're living, but there's a reason for it because God, nothing is in vain, and we're gonna soon learn why the heck this is happening.
Well, I think a lot of people too, I've heard, people, it's like we talked about in our show with cabin fever, people are really starting to just itch to want to go out. And they're coming up with all these crazy excuses. Even older people, they want to go to the grocery store, even though they already have all their groceries. It's oh, but I need one more thing. It's
out of panic.
Stay home. You don't need it. You don't need to be out. Find something more fun to do at home.
Yeah. No matter what the governor said, he's not closing the supermarket. So if your parents are hey, don't get a Costco, or I have to, go out every day to buy food, they don't, because that's the last thing that's gonna happen. Like I said, you just need eggs, get some cans of tuna. If that's the worst that will happen.
Aunt Frank lived in a closet for 2 years. Okay, 2 years, and she couldn't even come out during the day.
For those who don't know who Aunt Frank is,
they should. They should, because it should be in their curriculum. Okay. Well, all that home tutoring that you guys are doing, or homeschooling, whatever, you should be listening to Aunt Frank. Okay. Sis had to live in a closet for 2 years. And you know what? For her birthday, there was one piece of cake for 8 people. We could go and get 3 cakes right now if we want. So we're going to be fine. Yes. This is going to pass.
Right. If you're sad, this is all around your birthday. The important thing is that you have a birthday. So make sure you stay alive. That's it sounds really sad and scary, but honestly, that's the most important thing. Have a birthday.
Yeah. So, I want to talk about how real this thing is. I know that, a lot of these kids, I've been seeing it. My friend, he's a police officer in Elizabeth, and he tells me that the biggest problem that he's having right now is trying to keep the kids home. That there's a lot of kids that like to go play basketball, a lot of kids that are like walking down the streets, hanging out with their friends and stuff like that. And I don't think people realize the realness of this situation. And our number one goal is to, number one, not put fear in your heart, because there is God did not create us to be, God did not give us a spirit of fear. We're not supposed to be afraid. But God also gave us a brain to use wisdom. And unfortunately, according to my police officer friend, a lot of our friends, a lot of the youth in Elizabeth are not using their wisdom. They're not using their little noggin, and it's extremely important that you do. But how real is this? This is extremely real. If you think about it, if you look at what's happening in New York City, even if you have Twitter or you have Instagram or you have YouTube, you have Facebook and stuff like that, I'm not telling you to dive into it and spend hours watching it so you could become a lunatic, afraid, hiding in your closet, afraid that if your dog sneezes that you need to kick him out the house. I'm not trying to make you afraid like that, because that's not the point. But the whole point is that you need to realize the reality of what's happening. Legit, people are dying in New York City. People are dying in New Jersey. There's a lot of people in Elizabeth that are infected, a lot. You know, my sister-in-law who works at the CVS right there in West Grand, she's telling me how many people are actually coming in, for medicine in mass. They're sick. That you already know for a fact they have coronavirus. One of our leaders, who, for their privacy, I'm not going to say anything, but they mentioned they send us a text message just saying that their father was, has the virus, and it's real. Like, this thing is real. And, like, I know you guys are tired of being home. There's only so much Fortnite you could play. There's only so much, like, things you could do at home, and you're like dying to see your friends. I know even those who have boyfriends and girlfriends, right? Let's keep it real. I miss my boo. I need to touch her. I need to see her. I need to give her a kiss. All that silly, stupid stuff. Let me tell you something. If you love your boyfriend, and I'm looking at the camera this time. If you truly love your boyfriend or girlfriend, right? And you're asking them to come out their house so that you could see them, so that you could give them a hug and a kiss, they don't love you, bro. They don't love you.
Trash.
Because this junk is real. Can I get an amen, guys?
Amen.
Amen.
They don't love you. Because the reality is that at this point, you need to be able to stay home to keep not only your family safe, but to keep other people safe. You know what I'm saying? And I know we're in a place where we're dying to see people. Listen, my brother came to my house. I was playing video games. I think it was a couple nights ago. And my brother Gio, shout out to Gio. He's another essential worker. As Leslie is working at the hospitals trying to make sure that these patients stay alive. My brother Gio, he actually works for a Lysol factory, creating Lysols and a whole bunch of disinfectants. But you didn't hear that from me, and he's not the plug. All right, he's not gonna come over here with like whatever. But he happened to be driving around his house with driving around Elizabeth, Roosevelt Park, where I live, with a little can of Lysol, and he was gonna drop it off for me. He dropped it off in my front door, and then he walked towards his car and he gave me a call. I haven't seen my brother. I haven't touched my brother. I haven't given him a hug. I haven't given him a kiss, because like Puerto Ricans, we give each other hugs and kisses, whatever, blah blah. I haven't been able to embrace in the cheek, yeah, embrace my brother in such a long time. So I'm with my headsets, the same ones that I'm using now, with my video games, in my like wife beater and my shorts, playing, just bodying a lot of people in video games. And I look at my brother from the outside window, and he says, "Oh, I dropped it off for you." And he waves at me, and I'm waving at him. And it's so sad. I mean, like, I want to be able to give him a high five, give him a hug, say, "What's up? What's going on?" But we can't. But we know the situation. We know what's real. We know what's happening. And it's one of those things, like, you got to be willing to sacrifice. Leslie, in your story that you posted on Instagram, you were mentioning about how you come home and you can't even give your own mother a hug. Tell me how that has been.
My mom lives with me. Her and my dad stay in the basement. That's where like they're set up. That's where I keep them. But I work in the hospital, so I feel like I'm a threat. I don't touch these patients, but I could literally get this virus from touching a button on an elevator. Button.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could get it from talking to someone. The people I work with those people. Whatever. I could get it any second. I get it from going to the supermarket. Whatever. But I come home and I have not hugged my mom. I don't come close to her since like this whole thing broke out. I haven't given her a kiss on the cheek. I haven't hugged her. I gave her like a side hug 2 weeks ago, but even in talking to her, I stay my distance, and it's very sad. But she works in the airport too, so she mostly works at home now, but she's also a threat to me, And it's so crazy, but you should really act like everyone and everything is infected, as sad as that is. Just to be safe, act like everyone has it, and it's on everything.
Yep.
Now, Billy has something to say. See if he's going to pop on. About toilet paper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, in the comments, Alex leader director from School 30 commented how there's still no toilet paper available in the supermarket.
Guys, I have 2 rolls left. I have 2 rolls left.
I got wipies, so
I'm stacked. I got mad toilet paper. But I
gotta
gotta
help.
Keep that on the low.
I got a little tip for people though. All right. If you run out of toilet paper, get one of your old shirts that are nice and clean, cut them in little squares, and you Gucci.
Oh my gosh, and that is sustainable. We can rewash that.
Yeah.
Thing that you can do. You ready? As soon as you use the bathroom, just take a quick shower.
Yeah, if worst comes to worst, just get into the shower.
Bro, that's it.
Also,
Up in the shower.
Well, I pee a lot every day. I drink a lot of water.
Right.
Dang, I'm gonna be taking like 10 showers. My body's gonna look like my hands for the amount of times I wash them.
Next. And if anybody has a poodle, a Yorkie, a cat, Billy, you got at least 3-4 cats in the house. You good on toilet paper for a couple months. As long as they still breathing, you Gucci.
I'm so excited.
No, but the guys, like, like I'm speaking to the Bridge kids now.
Soft. Wow.
Paper bird?
And it's a mega roll.
That's a bodega pack. The jump here quick.
Softness for all bums.
Softness for all
Guys, I'm
bums.
gonna resort to Chipotle napkins pretty soon because it's literally the struggle is so real.
Yo, fact, bro. Any fast food spot you go to, save those napkins, bro. You might need.
That's right. Check your glove compartment.
Yeah. Being
I'd
like
say
Max.
this
Time for extreme measures.
I thank God that I have
this pack of toilet paper.
Yep.
Zipper?
This pack of toilet paper. I was in ShopRite, like doing my necessities run, and I was walking down. I always go down the toilet paper aisle just to see. I had like another one left, but I saw this one thing sitting at the top shelf in the back. So I reached up and I grabbed it, and it was like the very last one. I haven't seen toilet paper since then in any store.
That's cray. Also, Bounty, like the wash, the one that you keep in the kitchen by the dishes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one too. You can use that too.
That's a good choice. 2 plies.
Oh, you got money, cause Bounty expensive.
Hey, bro, I don't know about y'all, but when they said it was an outbreak, I watch a lot of zombie apocalypse joints, so I got ready.
So you're one of those guys.
When we're lucky.
Those guys.
It's so funny. We made fun of the people who were stacking up on toilet paper, and now we know. But the reason why we are where we are now is because of that.
Because of them.
Yeah, you know.
It was wild. I didn't buy that much.
But back to our message to the youth, guys. Just stay home, man. Let me tell you something. When I was in military school, it was a real test of who was my real friends and not. So for those who don't know, I didn't graduate from Elisabeth High School. I went to Elisabeth High School my freshman and sophomore year, and then I found out about this youth program that I could go to for 6 months. The military school, I could go for 6 months and get my high school diploma. I was like, I'm out, and I left, and I went to the military school. At military school, for those, class 23. If you out there and you're watching this video, I love you guys. Great memories. Bang Bang Jesus Gang. Yeah, it was established there too. Right. But when I was away at military school, I was away from my friends. Like I literally was away from the world. The only way you could contact me was either you send me letters, right? Or you send me, or you call, but you have to use a calling card to call me. It was like a payphone. I could only use payphone. I was legit prison. That's how it was when it comes to communication, either through letters or through phone call, but like collect call. And all my friends that I thought were my real friends, my close friends, the ones that will be there 100% for me. How many letters did they send me? None. You know who sent me letters? Everybody from Bridge. I had letters from people from Bridge. I had a letter from Samantha. Shout out to you, Samantha. I got a letter from you. I still got it to this day. I got letters from Pastor Carlos. I got letters from all these different leaders from the Bridge. Obviously, I got letters from my boy Gabe and my close friends. But I got a lot of the people who I thought were my close friends were not sending me letters. The reason why I bring this story up is because you're in quarantine right now. You're supposed to be staying home. if your friends are no longer your friends because you're not hanging out with them, you're not sneaking out your house to meet with them at the park around the corner. If you're not, if you're afraid of losing friends because you can't go to their house to play video games at their house, listen, those friends are not worth it, because the reality is they're not putting you and your family in their best interest. They're putting themselves and how they want and their instant gratification as their best interest, and that's something that you cannot do.
And it doesn't matter if their parents are okay with it.
Right.
You should still know better.
For real.
Because there are some who are also not taking it seriously. Like I'm in a group for my, oh my God, I thought somebody was at the door. I freaked out a little bit. I was like, there's nobody. I'm in a, I was like, what the heck? The coronavirus ghost? I'm in this group for my area that I live in, for my ward in Elizabeth, and they posted that they saw a group of students. I live by Kane College, or university, whatever.
Yeah, university.
Sorry,
you're dating yourself.
Harold went to Kane College. Shout out.
College, yeah.
Yeah, and they said that there was like a group of 16 people walking together.
Yeah,
and the worst part is that somebody's mom was with them, and a cop pulled them over, and she had the nerve to be like, "Oh, who are you to tell my kid to separate from his friends?" Kind of, this is Elizabeth, so not everybody is super friendly when it comes to that. And the cop wrote her a ticket. And he said, "I have 15 more to give if you want to keep talking." And the fact of the matter is like, there's really still 16 people hanging out together.
Yeah.
Bro, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Like, stay home. Ain't nobody got time.
It's wild. You
I
gotta
see how,
use
like,
wisdom.
Right. I see how every other country is dealing with this. Like India, they're literally hitting people with sticks. Like, and they have all the right. Because if
India
this goes,
gonna whoop that behind if you outside.
well, if this starts, it's gonna be really bad for India, yo. If this starts to spread, they need to be serious, because all those people, like the slums and stuff, they live so close together. So it's gonna literally, God forbid, it'll be worse than it is for America if it hits there. But that's not the point. But how they're being so strict with it, and we can't, because we have rights, which are, thank God for America and our freedom. But if you see a little 16-year-old getting hit with a stick, oh my God, the country will be in an uproar. But like, you're literally, you're not listening. So it's like, and I hate, like, we were talking about this before we like hopped on the show, but I am not looking at like people's stories anymore, because I literally take it as a direct offense against me. I don't even know what word I'm looking for, because it's literally like, you don't care about me as a friend if you're out here in public and you're out here seeing your friends and you're out here getting your lashes done and you're out here just like being stupid. And it's literally like, you don't give a damn about me. Like, my circle is already small, and it's just gonna shrink so much more after this.
Leslie's like, "You're not my friend. You're not my friend." You're not my friend.
Cutting ties, bro.
That's it. Because I literally take it as like, you're like an insult. You're. I don't even know what I'm looking for, but
Leslie's trying to say that when this coronavirus ends, she's still gonna fight you.
Don't call me.
For real. And I also
coronavirus don't kill you.
I also want to talk to brothers and sisters out there who are like really afraid, and you're really scared of this thing. I want to just let you know that it's understandable to be afraid, but fear shouldn't rule you. Right. And I just want to point to 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, where it says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." And so I want you guys to understand that in a season like this one, you shouldn't be ruled by fear, but you should be wise. And to be wise, that means that you need to know, like, yo, I shouldn't be hanging out with my friends because this is serious. But we could also kick it in the chat group from my computer. We could kick it on PS4, Xbox. If you're a PC player, you could play on PC. If you don't do none of that stuff, bro, FaceTime. I mean, there's just so many different angles you can take so that you can still connect with people and not feel like, oh my God, I gotta stay in my closet. If anybody ever seen the bench warmers, there was one character. I don't know if one of you guys posted something, but he's afraid of the sun, and literally he'll put his hand out into the sun, like, ah! And then he'll run back inside because he was so afraid. Don't be that guy. Don't
post that on the Instagram. Somebody,
I love it.
Like, stay safe, be wise, hang out with your friends from home. You can still be social without being socially physically there. You know what I mean? So you can have play dates online. You can have whatever. It's a lot of ways to connect nowadays, guys. All right.
Right.
I want to
I
take a
feel that,
quick
bro.
break. I want to take a quick break, right? And Billy, I want you to explain the importance of doing schoolwork. My wife, who's a teacher at School 3, so shout out to Bridge 3, woo, downtown. Woo. My wife, if you guys don't know,
A
my
little
wife
woo.
is actually a teacher at your bridge. My wife is Miss Torres, the beautiful Miss Torres. Um, and she's a teacher, and at the Bridge 3, and she's realizing that a lot of the kids, man, you guys are not doing your work. Like you could easily be distracted not doing your work. Billy, can you explain to the kids who may be slacking with their schoolwork? It's easy. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If I was a kid at this time, I probably would think that I'm already in summer break, right? Billy, can you explain how we're technically not in summer break? We're in the fourth marking period, and how everything that you do is extremely important.
Yeah, so I mean, the schoolwork that you have through Power School in Elizabeth, that work that counts. That's not just for fun or anything like that. We actually can see, we have a they're called analytics, and so we can see who logs in and how many times they log in and for how many minutes they're on the page. We can see which pages they visit and that we set up. And I'm in chat groups with like teachers from all different schools, and there's a lot of schools where teachers are just like more than 50% of my kids aren't even like logging in, or they're logging in but they're not actually doing anything. And we can easily see who's doing what. And so these days, they count. We've been off for, what is it, 2 weeks now? 2 weeks, maybe just 3 weeks. I don't even know.
I think
What
it's
is
been
time?
officially 12 days.
Is it 12? Yeah, it's been a while. So
Years.
if we
10 years later.
if we weren't doing this homeschooling thing, then all these days get added to the end of the school year. So the school was supposed to end, I think, on like June 21st or June 23rd. We'd be into July at this point. And so the reason we can maintain having the school, get out when it's supposed to get out is because you're supposed to be doing homework or doing your classwork at home. So, I mean, the grades count. I've been entering at this point. If people aren't just turning in any assignments, I'm entering zeros for my classes and stuff like that.
Oh no.
Because I mean, if you're at least attempting to do it, yeah. If you're attempting to do something, even I know, like we know that it's hard to do the classwork at home. Sometimes you're not going to get it because you don't have a teacher right there. We're working on things. I was in a meeting yesterday with some principal and some other teachers. We're working on things we can do to help people out. But if I see you're trying, I'm going to give you credit for whatever I can. We're going to work with you guys. But I mean, if I see students that just don't turn anything in, they're not even attempting, I'm putting a 0 in, because if you're not going to do any work, why should, I mean, if you're doing 0 work, you earn yourself a 0. So, I mean, and these grades count. Your report cards come out, I think, in 2 weeks for marking period number 3. And some people are going to be surprised.
And there's still one more marking period, right? Like,
yeah, all across the district. And so, I mean, as of right now, the president said that we are quarantined until at least April 30th. So
yeah, that's what I got.
May 1st is the absolute earliest a school could open. There's no word on that. I mean, I highly doubt that May 1st. If that's the earliest, I doubt that that's going to happen. I don't know anything. I'm not.
Yeah, our governor said that this might go deep into May, though. So I think we're a little bit different than the rest of the United States, because we're like the epicenter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, get your work done. It's important and it counts. And I mean, you're supposed to be learning some stuff. I'm trying to make my lessons interesting. I'm trying to give them something, to do. But
yeah, bro.
You guys all have a part to play.
Be about your business. Make sure that y'all don't. A good thing to do is to maintain your schedule. Like, wake up like you would in the morning. Get on your computers. Do what you got to do. For real. And don't let this time waste just playing video games, just doing things that aren't meaningful for your life. You know what I'm saying? Where you can actually, you could grow doing certain things. You could grow. Maybe you get ahead of your work. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of options you have to be intelligent during this time as well.
And it's an easy time, right? Like you don't have a teacher down your, sitting in back of you, making sure that you're doing things. You don't have to like raise your hand. You don't have to be participating. All you literally need to do is read the instructions that your teacher is giving you, and literally
Mhm.
just do the work.
You
And
could
if you
even
I'm
have
sure there's
FaceTime your
plenty.
questions,
friends and like pretend you're in class together, and now you can
Right.
actually talk and
Right.
chew
That's
gum.
Do it with
true.
the
Yeah,
fruit, bro. Do it with the fruit.
and we've been told, like the teacher's been told, like take it easy because this is difficult on everyone, and we don't know if someone's not doing the work because maybe they're actually sick. Like we don't know, so they're telling us take it easy, like don't go crazy. But I mean, we need if someone has to do their part in order to make this whole thing
I,
work. Like we can't
yeah.
just have no one doing.
yeah,
I
to
bet
do your
there's
work,
kids that have
guys.
been like, I can't wait to be in college. I can't wait to be in college. This is college. This is
This
like
is
if you're
college
online
prep.
classes, there's so much freedom when you college classes. And if you can't, like, this is like a little preview for you guys. So if you can't handle this,
Yeah.
college
Oh,
is
that is so
gonna.
true. When I went to Rutgers, my first week of
School,
school, I was like, yo, I could stay up till whatever.
Nobody cares.
I was just, it's so crazy because I've been telling all my friends, I was like, this quarantine is nothing because my immigrant parents have prepared me for this my whole life. Because when I was younger, I couldn't go out. I would go
Exactly.
to school, I would come home, and I would do nothing. And during the summer, it was the same thing. I couldn't go out. My parents were like, yeah, you want to
Right.
go outside? You could take the dog for a walk, which is exactly what I'm doing now. So it feels like I'm 16 all over again. So when I hit college, and I got to dorm, I was like, yo, I could stay up till 12:30 and I don't have to do anything. And then homework caught up to me and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fail in life if I don't do this. So
Yeah, exactly. Rude awakening.
same concept here.
Yep.
Yep. And I'm telling you, man, like my wife says, like it's extremely important to you make sure you do your schoolwork because at the end of the day, you're still in school. Just like I still got to go to work every single day. Raul still works every single day.
Yep.
Christina still works every single day. Our leader still works every single day. Leslie still works every single day. You need to make sure you do your work every single day. Spring break is when is spring break for Elizabeth?
Starts
April?
on April 10th. So next Friday is the first day of spring break. It's the 10th through the 17th, I think, something like that. Yeah, it starts on Good Friday, ends the day after Easter.
Yeah. So guys, literally just do your work. School spring breaks around the corner. You're almost done with you're literally almost done with school. Finish school with a bang. And it's very serious. Like I don't know if you guys know, but even in Elizabeth, like we had a situation where, people are passing away, like I'm sure most of you guys probably already know, we have some teachers at this high school that passed away, and it's one of those things where like we need to be able to like be able to make sure that we take this situation seriously, because yeah, there that not only stuff is extremely real.
We're smiling about our little chat here. We're not smiling about the teachers who passed away. This is really hard, guys. It's difficult when anybody passes away, but hopefully this was like a wake up call for you guys. But
Right.
I think it's good too that they hear from someone who's a teacher, like Billy is a teacher, that it's not easy for teachers on the other side as well. They're trying to give you credit for all that you're doing, and you just have to try and do the work. And if anyone out there is sick too, keep open communication with your teachers, and everybody's obviously very understanding during this time.
Yeah, and we're learning how to do this too. Like we haven't done this on our end either.
Right.
This is learning for us, teachers as well.
let's all help
Yep.
each other.
And again, none of us here are counselors or licensed counselors, but if you want somebody you to talk to, vent, again, I mention this, I think almost every time we're here to talk to you, be here for you, be a shoulder for you to lean on during these times. And even outside of that, you just want to kick it with one of us, we're available through all kinds of channels, bro. Everything, Twitter,
I think
everything.
I think after this show, I will put a post on our Instagram, and I'll tag every single person from the Bridge YouTube show with their personal Instagrams. If anyone needs somebody to reach out to, we're all in this together, and you could DM us personally, or if you want to reach out to your own Bridge leaders, you could DM us on the Bridge Instagram, and we could connect you to them. So we're all available during this time.
We're 100%.
Nope.
And if you have anybody or anything you want us to pray for, you let us know. You could DM us whenever on the Bridge.
I got some good stuff to mention too. Sorry, I know that we're on a topic. I'm gonna go off topic for a quick second. Earth Day is coming up, right? Isn't Earth Day coming up
Yes,
soon?
it is.
Yes, I think that there's some really cool projects we could do from home. You can have a little window garden you could start, right?
Oh,
You can recycle your plastics. You can start doing some cool. Make sure that you're in a time like this where Earth needs all the love it can get.
yeah.
A lot
You
of
just
things
became
going on.
Vanessa's best friend.
No,
At this place?
I am like the earth. I'm like the tree hugger in this group. Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah, I don't hug that many trees.
I love the
hug
earth.
trees a little bit.
This makes me happy. This makes me very happy.
Hey, so you want to be my best friend again?
I helped start a lot of gardens in the city of Newark, urban gardens.
Oh, I applied to go there. To like,
What, girl? You could have came with me for free. Stop playing. Yeah, urban
My
garden.
hospital has one.
I worked with Ironbound Corporation in Newark, and I've been helping out with a lot of different gardens. So I always got green on my mind. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I work with a lot of people who are master gardeners who graduated from the Rutgers program, master gardener. So I know a lot of.
Can you help me with this plant? Because it's dying.
I know somebody who could.
Sonia.
Trevor.
Oh,
My
Trev?
plant is dying.
Trev is a master gardener, so Trevor knows.
Wow. My boy got a green thumb.
I could definitely, yeah. Trevor's a really good friend of mine. He's somebody who you could talk to, or I could just ask him for you. Just send me a picture of it, and he can tell me what to do. But definitely, guys, stay green. Don't especially during Earth Day, man, hold it down. Find some cool DIY projects, right? DIY is it called?
DIY.
Do your
DIY projects with some recyclables, with your plastic bottles. Make like a little robot or something cool, and tag us on it. And I'm sure Christina would love to repost your post, man. But definitely do something fun.
You know what? In regards to that too, I just want to throw this out there. While we are keeping the earth clean right now because we're all home, there's been this huge problem where people throw their gloves outside.
Oh my god!
Everywhere, boy.
I think we talked about this maybe a little bit in the last show. I'm not sure, but
no.
The thing is, guys, is that I know that we're all wearing gloves because we're scared. When you wear gloves and you touch everything in your pocket and your phone and your face, guess what? You're not helping anyone. You're just.
Should I do a tutorial on masks?
Please do. Can you?
Yeah. Go get your stuff.
Because I saw a video on Instagram of a woman eating her fries with her gloves.
Yeah, me too.
What the heck?
Coronavirus all on them.
She's sitting in like the New York bus stop, and she has her mask down here, and she is straight up eating her fries with her gloves. And I was like,
wildin', bruh. Straight wildin'. So yeah, we need Leslie to walk out through.
Before Leslie returns, right? I want to give a shout out to our church. Shout out to Christ Fellowship. We are legit doing things that are never been done before. Because of this crisis, our church has revolutionized literally social media, right? And pretty much connecting with the community, right? Outside of our actual building. One thing that we've been doing is that we've been having a live stream every Sunday. So guys, listen, you want to go to church on Sundays? Tune in. Christ Fellowship of Elisabeth. You could go to CF. You could literally go on YouTube and write CF of Elisabeth, and you'll find our YouTube page.
Put Christ Fellowship of Elisabeth because the CF of Elisabeth doesn't always return exactly.
Christ Fellowship of Elisabeth. You could go on YouTube. You can listen to our Sunday services, which is amazing. But not only that, there's so many things that we've been doing. We've been having prayer. We've been having prayer mornings. We've been doing, like different type of like small groups, Zoom meetings with the men ministry, with the women's ministry. We've been doing so many things to try to keep continuing to have our people connected with each other. Just that's the most important thing, right? is staying connected. So guys, like we have Bridge, but what's above us, well, the reason why Bridge exists is because we all go to the same church, right? Christ Fellowship. It's located in Elizabeth. It's, it's extremely like it's a really good thing, and I really encourage you guys to go through. I just want to make sure that we don't have no more technical difficulties. Are we good, Billy?
There was a glitch, but it looks like we're all back and ready to go now.
Guys, I just want to shout out Marissa. She's one of our youth, our student leaders, and she is watching us live and posting us on Instagram. So
Hey.
shout you out, girl. I know you're watching.
That's my girl.
On in a related Earth Day note, there's an article that came out about this week that because people are not out driving around and doing stuff, it has had a drastic, massive improvement in air quality and loss of pollution.
Awesome.
It says here that in China alone, because people aren't outside, that air pollution has dropped by 25%, which is enormous.
We love
crazy.
to see it.
That's just China.
We love to see it.
I heard that there's been like I live in Rosa Park, and there's a Rosa Park page that we have that they've been talking about. That there've been foxes, like mad wild animals, walking around because nobody's like in their cars driving around like crazy people. In Italy, there's been dolphins going upstream because there's
in the canal.
Bro, shout out to all the dolphins out there, bro, and all the foxes.
Oh wait.
And there's also, I don't know where it is. I think it's the Netherlands. They have like goats everywhere in the middle of town.
Niece that did that. I'm sorry, what was I going to say?
I think it's in the Netherlands. Oh my god, if I got this wrong, just ignore me. But they have like goats like in the center of town, just like eating up like all the grass on the side of the businesses because nobody's out, nobody's shopping.
Right.
Yeah. So Leslie, you have you got a tutorial of what to do with your masks.
This flex nowadays. If you got these masks.
Hey.
Okay. So we have different types of masks, okay? This is your standard surgical mask, okay? This is for droplet, what we call droplet. So this mask is more to protect you from me. So God forbid I have it, I am wearing this so that none of my hot breath or none of my coughing or anything.
Hold on, time out real quick. Back in the day, hot breath is like your breath is smelly, and it's like we used to say like, your breath is kicking. So I used to picture like Jackie Chan like whoa coming out your breath. But picture this time is picture an army of Jackie Chans, right?
Oh gosh.
With like molten lava foots, right? Kicking at your face.
Lava
Real.
just shooting from the tip of his toes.
So go ahead, continue, Leslie.
First thing you should know, there's a lot of things you should know. But the blue side is always out. Blue side, out. The white side is to your face. Don't want this little foam strip. Yours might not have a foam strip, but always blue side out, okay? You don't need this to drive in your car when you're by yourself. You only need this when you're gonna be close to people, like within 6 feet or whatever. If you're going grocery shopping, go ahead and wear it, but once it's on, keep it on, okay? So you're gonna put this over your nose. If it doesn't have a thing on your nose, that's okay. But you're going to bend it on your nose, and it's either going to go around your ears, or it's like the one that you tie. Okay? There's this, and kind of similar to this is a cloth one. And this is a cute one someone gave to me at work. This is the one I've been using the past couple of days because I don't want to waste these at work. But thank you so much. Minimalistic, you know me. I don't know who made this. Someone donated them to a friend of mine, and she gave me one. So shout out to her, whoever you are. But if you use a cloth mask or a bandana, wash it every day because germs will stay in fabric. So you need to wash this every day. So I've been washing it every day with my uniforms. Billy, let's cut to Billy for a sec.
How does mine look?
Yours.
Mine good?
Yours is very patriotic. Yeah.
It's
all right.
Support.
Live in America.
So this one ties in the back.
I'm free.
Yeah.
Forget. Sorry, let me go ahead.
So this one ties in the back, tie it up, and then tie it on the bottom. And then if you want to be extra safe, so at work we've been wearing the cloth one, and then we wear this on top. Ooh. And this is literally because you don't know who has what, so and who where people have been. And then this is one style of the N95. You don't need this, okay? If you have a bunch, try to donate them to somebody who needs it, but you should have one just in case. The important thing about this is if it's airborne. If there's particles of this germ like flying around, once this is on, you do not take this off. If you're going like on an airplane, you shouldn't. But if you're going on an airplane, you wear this, and once it's on, you do not take it off because you're literally defeating the purpose of this. So once this is on, and there's a special way to put it, if you're wearing this at the supermarket, you're already messing up, and you don't take it off at all, okay? So there's two strings on it. You've seen this style, and then like the cup one, that like construction
painters. Yeah.
So you bring both of them over your head. You drop one at the top, and then one behind your neck or behind your head, and then you bridge it here.
That's a Daffy Duck one.
Yeah.
Leslie, say something with a.
But you see how when
Are you crazy, son?
When I breathe, it does this. Hello.
Sorry. Jesus, he know how to get me. I'm sorry. He know how to get me. That's why.
Hello.
I'm sorry. I'm
trying to teach the masses here.
You're right. My bad.
So,
So I'm gonna mute myself. Hold on. Where the mute button?
Even Billy's laughing.
Go ahead, Leslie. I'm sorry. You do like a little duck there, though.
Cute duck.
All right, so go ahead, continue.
You see how like when I breathe, it does that?
Honestly, it looks a little bit like a popcorn bag too. Like every time you breathe, I just hear.
Raul is still dying. All right, I'm taking this off.
No, you keep it on, please.
All right, I'm not keeping this on. You can't even breathe with this on.
You should keep it on for the rest of the entire show.
Oh, my God.
My friends are keeping this on for 12, 14 days.
Yeah, all right, let's get serious, guys.
And then your gloves. All right, so I've told a lot of people don't wear gloves, but my friends are saying, when they go to the grocery stores, they put it on when they walk in and then take it off when you get out. But when you take it off, when you're wearing it, make sure you're not touching your face. You're not eating Doritos with them on because you're defeating the purpose of it. Like, come on. But when you take them off, this is a good way to do it. You pull it like inside out like that. You eat your other hand is the monster. This is how they told me when I was little. You take it, and then with this clean hand, you go under it, and you go like that. That way you keep it clean, right?
Right.
So, yeah, that's it.
Not for nothing. That was awesome information that I didn't even know, so thank you so much.
Yeah, actually, it is really useful because I've been wearing the surgical masks wrong. I actually wore the blue side in when I first started wearing them because I was sick at home, so I didn't want to get anyone else in my house sick. So I was wearing them.
And I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. You're not.
I'm not gonna lie and forgive me, guys. But I think I was one of the people who took off his gloves in the parking lot of ShopRite and just dumped them junk.
Yo, unfollow.
Dumped them in the garbage. That's my boy.
Bro, there's no garbage next to me, and I need to get rid of them. Well, long story short, I will never do it again. But I Lysol everything, bro. So forgive me, guys. All right. So with everything that's happening, guys, we want to end it because we're about the time where we're going to end the show, right? Which has been a very successful show. Guys, listen, comment, so let us know what other things you want to talk about before we go to our next segment. I just want to let you guys know that we are a show that is every Friday, but every Friday is different. Like I want to be able to include new things. I want to be able to we want to be able to include new things. We want to be able to get more people involved. Listen, if you guys want to come in as a guest on the show, we are working on how we could add a fifth person to the show. Like, let us know. Like we want to be able to make this show a show that you guys can not only enjoy but be a part of. Your comments, write down the comments that you guys have. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, ring the notification bells for the next time, and
Smash
literally just be a part of our community. This show is going to continue to evolve and to become better little by little every single week. And we have plans, um, but other than that, guys, I want to say, like with everything that's happening right now, has any of you guys, and I want to see if everybody, with Leslie, Christina, Raul, Billy, where have you seen the fingerprints of God in what's been going on in your own personal life because of the situation in the last week?
I could start if
Okay.
that's okay.
Of course.
I think a few things. I think number one, like we mentioned, there's a lot of green happening. Green in meaning like how Billy said, the pollution of cars has gone down and helped the air significantly, has helped the trees. A lot of people are now kind of like throwing things away. I think right now is a good time where people are building bonds and great friendships. And I think also this is a time to spend time with God. Like honestly, bro. Like I think right now there's so much time on our hands that you could talk to the Lord, bro. Like any time of the day, you could just pause real quick from gaming and just say a quick prayer. You feel me? And then jump right back in. But I just feel like I've seen God's fingerprints in that aspect throughout this entire situation.
Next, anybody else?
I think too, for me, and I'm going to plug into Christ Fellowship again. I've it's like we have so many resources to continue to stay connected with God and stay connected with the church. And it's amazing what they're doing. Like every day there's something. I mean, my days go by so quick because after work, it's like I'm always in some kind of meeting, or I wake up in the morning and trying to get in on their prayer call. And it's so crazy that during this time, I really feel like God's hand is over everything, because it's like a revival. Like people who are connected to God are praying without ceasing, and people who are not usually connected to God. I've seen videos all over the internet of nurses falling to their knees, of nurses like outside worshiping, and these might be people who have never even spoke to God themselves. And so even through all of this tragedy, I keep even urging my own friends, like keep your eyes fixed on the one above, right? Like stay plugged in. And Christ Fellowship has done so much with that it's really been helping me and just keeping me positive even in this situation.
Amen.
I think that's dope how you brought up the nurses and like doctors that are like we see praying together, because honestly, it's very rare to find nurses and medical people that follow God because of everything that we see. And normally we're not allowed to pray. We're not allowed to bring up the Lord at work with patients or anything. But to see people really like relying on God when this is literally something that they can't control, it just really shows you that, God shouldn't be your last resort, and I hope that people realize that, like, once this is over, in the name of Jesus, that is not like the last resort. Like prayer is not like, we have nothing left to do but pray. It should be like, no, we're going to pray.
That's the first thing you do.
Right. Come on now.
Amen. Amen.
And to point out to that, my company is also like that, where you get in trouble kind of thing. Like you go against Red Book if you bring up religion, or you're supposed to stay like respectful towards people. We had this chain going on where it was just for women at work, and you had to send a favorite quote, a favorite poem, something uplifting. I sent the site lead of my company, I sent her a Bible verse. And I took the risk, and I was like, oh my God, this could go so wrong. And I was like, I don't even care, because this to me is what's uplifting me. And I sent it to her, and she sent it back. And it was like, don't rob you. The scripture that says, like, don't rob you of your joys. There's enough trouble for tomorrow. Kind of like, don't worry about today. There's enough trouble for tomorrow. Yeah. And I told her, don't let this time steal your joy. And I'm very thankful for all the updates you keep putting out for the company. And she responded back and said, thank you. I'm going to think about that. And I was like, thank you.
That's dope. That's dope.
What about you, Bill?
So online, I've been seeing through Instagram or wherever. There's been a lot of people who have been stepping up to help out those who really need help, like so the elderly or people who are stuck at home and can't go out for groceries and stuff like that. There's this one person I follow. She's a photographer from, I think, Colorado. And she, every day she goes out, she has like a list of people that need groceries or whatever, and she'll like have the list of like hundreds of items, and she'll go out and she'll go buy all the stuff and then package and then deliver them to people's houses. And there's stories of like people doing all kinds of stuff similar to that all over the place. And so, I mean, people are now they're in a crisis, but people are banding together and helping out those who need help and who can't take care of themselves. And I mean, that just kind of highlights what it's in the book of Micah in the Old Testament. It says, what does it asks, what does God require of you? And it doesn't say to go to church. It doesn't say worship, pray. What it says is God requires us to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before God. And so it's not so much only about how you act like in a church setting, but it's about what you do with other people and how you take care of them. And so, I mean, this whole thing, people helping out those who need help, that's the love mercy part about that. It's showing mercy to people who need it, who would not be able to survive without that help. And so it's really cool to see people from all over the place, people who go to church, people who don't even do that, who are kind of reaching out and helping people who need help, who would probably not survive this otherwise.
I actually do want to share something, just because Billy just like of it, and I thought about it earlier today. But this is like such an important time. I'm gonna shout out Raul. You gave me this bracelet like a year ago or two, and I take this to work with me every single day. Like if it's not in my pocket or like in my bag or something like that, like I just always have. So earlier today, I was just
getting soft here, bro.
I know, me too, bro. This is so. I can't even get about the melt right here.
So this week has been like pretty rough. I just been got a lot of stuff in my throat. I've been wrestling with God a lot this week, and like I saw this bracelet, and I'm like, what a perfect time to ask, like, what would Jesus do? Because you can literally ask that. It doesn't matter your position. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your resources. The way anything you do, whatever you can do, whatever how you talk, like any small thing. What would Jesus do in this situation? So how Billy said, like, you love, you walk justly, walk justly and act mercy. How do you say? What is it again?
Act justly, love mercy, walk humbly before God.
So like those things. No matter what you guys are doing every day, how you act with your family, if you have a job, if you have something you could do for someone, what would Jesus do during this time?
So, amen. That's it. And he will be there for everybody. I mean, think about it. He was there for the leopards when everybody in town was running away from the leopards. Am I saying the word wrong?
I'm sorry. No. You said it, I think birds.
All right. So real quick, leopards are the tigers, and then leopards.
A leopard is a big cat.
All right. So which one?
Leopard.
A leopard without a D at the end is someone with a very bad skin disease.
All right.
The title of this YouTube is going to be Daffy Duck, Leopards, and Coronavirus.
There you go. But real quick, so Jesus was with the leper. All right, he was with the leopard. I mean, and that's what you're doing every single day. You're with the people who who could be you're assisting what's happening, and I believe that God honors that. Like for me personally, like one thing that I've been seeing the fingerprints of God in this last week was, you know, obviously, like us, we could get together so many times, right? Like we normally outside of this virus, how many of us we literally hang out with each other, right? We all get to hang out with each other. We get to be with each other, hang out, like spend time with each other. But we can't do that at this particular moment. My wife is texting me, yelling at me because I said leopard instead of leper. Babe, I'm sorry. Okay, I know you're an English teacher, right? You married the person who, at fifth grade, sixth grade, and seventh grade, I failed every spelling test. Okay, I can't even speak English, and I was born and raised in this country. I can't
Chill.
speak English nor Spanish. All right, what do you want me to do?
You just smile. Just smile.
Just give people a smile. Yo, if real quick, man, I want to give a shout outs to all our social service organizations out there, all the soup kitchens, everybody catering to the homeless, catering to the people who are in need. I specifically work in the city of Newark. I'm gonna wrap it up. So I specifically work in the city of Newark, and I spoke to people who said that they've literally served like 500 to 700 people. So I just want to give a shout out, bro, to people in the city of Elizabeth, people in the city of North, people who are listening to us right now who are in the social services, man. God bless you. God's strength over you, all our nurses, all our medical doctors, bro. May the spirit of the Lord be your strength during this time, bro. We love you. We got your back on this, man. For real.
Yeah, and just to end it, right? What I was
What I
saying
was saying
before
before
is that my friends, we can't connect with each other, but for some reason, because we can't connect with each other, is as if God's heart and God's desire is for us to connect more together outside of just being with in front of each other, but even when it comes to Him, to the point where like me and a couple of friends, we legit came together and said, what book can we read together? Where we could find God in, and we literally picked the book together. We're about to start reading it next week, and literally going to start diving deep into it, talking about where God is in every situation. And in Matthew 18:20, it says, where two or three are gathered in my name, I am in the midst. And it's easy to think that where is God? People are dying left and right. We have like legit bodies are being put into trailers in New York City because you can't fit the dead bodies no more. You see all this stuff that is happening. Our economy is falling apart, and people could honestly think that God has literally just said, "Peace, I'm out. This is too much. I'm out." But God is here, and when you see people like us getting together, talking about Him, praying, worshiping, and just is hanging out, reading books together, just being in the midst of everything that's happening, God is in the midst. You know what I mean? And it's a great reminder. Like it was a beautiful reminder for me that when I hang out with my friends, when I talk to my friends, online, and we're going over what God has done in our own personal lives, it shows that when we get together, God is real. And I want you bridge kids, right? You guys been to multiple retreats, and you guys remember the special moments you guys had at certain retreats, and you remember your roommates in your certain retreats, or you could remember that one person that during the retreat you gave the hug to, you prayed with, and you guys had that interaction where you guys talked about, man, this retreat was very good, very powerful, it helped me a lot. Link up with that person. You know what I mean? Link up with the person that you really made a connection with in the prior retreats, and just talk about what God has done in your own personal life. Maybe you need to find a devotional that you guys can follow together at the Bible app. Shameless plug, man. That Bible app is popping. I'm telling you, hop on that. Make sure you do it. And link up with people from Bridge that you know for a fact that have the same desire of following God that you do, so that you can go ahead and follow God with them. And take this moment, to elevate yourself. As I mentioned last week or the week prior, I don't remember no more, that there's two types of people. There are people who will excel in during the situation that we're in, or there's people that are going to digress. Make sure you are that person that excels during this situation and you're moving forward with God and not digressing. Okay? Billy, you want to close in prayer?
Sure. God, I thank you for this day, for bringing us all here together. I pray that you would just be with us this as we continue to be in quarantine and we're home. Help us to keep our eyes focused on you, and help us to make wise decisions in how we act and what we do in this time period. And just let this become a positive and beneficial thing for us. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys, we love you. We thank you for joining in. Make sure you tune in. Just to let you guys know, we are doing a new series where we're going to be interviewing different people. We're interviewing directors. We're interviewing leaders. We're interviewing leaders, student leaders. And listen, I'm down to even interview you. If you want to be interviewed, send us a DM. Send on Instagram. Let me know on Instagram. I want to be interviewed. We'll set everything up. I'll interview you. We're going to have a blast. Our number one focus is so that we all can get to know each other. And what best to get to know each other is have an interview with me. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys are continue to stay connected with us. If you want to be part of the interviewing, please let me know. Contact us on our Instagram, and we'll make sure that you'll be our next guest. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Shout out to Jazzy for watching, guys.
Jazzy, we love you. That's my girl.
Yes, girl.
Mhm.